Welcoming in the diffuser, earth, air, fire, water, earth, air, fire, water, welcoming in all of the elementals as always, and only team members that are of unconditional light. I actually get a chuckle sometimes from people when I just say the team of light. Why? Because I have a large collective. I have a large collective of higher dimensional, interdimensional, galactic, cosmic, beings in general, many beings, dragons and fairies and unicorns and spirit guides and animals. I have a robust team. Divine masters, ascended teachers, wisdom keepers. So yeah, it's a team. It's a team effort, all right? And sometimes it gets a chuckle from people when I say the team. The team is saying this. The team is this is the team. This is the team. It's the team of light. My team of unconditional love and light, as well as your team of unconditional love and light. Only beings of unconditional love and light 122 are welcome into this space. Anything else is not allowed. I'm here to continue to remember that you have all of the power. There's a lot of spiritual and energetic psychic attacks going on right now. Beautiful soul. I know that. But I'm here to remind you that you have the power to handle this. You have the power to call in your team and work together on a physical and energetic and spiritual level to handle this. I guess is the best word I can give a human word to it. So follow your own path. There's a handful of people that I'm in contact with, and it seems like the theme has been that there is an uptick in this particular energy, frequency, thought form, belief system, conditioning, program, entities, energies, stranger things, ickies, creepy crawlies, whatever the fuck you want to call them. Whatever the fuck you want to call them. Fleas, ticks, whatever the fuck. Parasites. All right? Have fun with it. Do not give it power. That's the key. So I did kind of a little bit of a very tough love raging type video last night post Reiki share because I felt it was relevant in that moment. And we're going to kind of touch on it again. Source wants me to bring it in again in this little more like morning vibe type of energy. All right. And I am here because through my own experience, right? When you are unaware, you're vulnerable to these things. When you have no awareness and you think that everything is outside of you, there's opportunities for these things to perpetrate your energetic field and space and aura and your dream state and all of the stuff. They also body jump. Seen the Matrix? Agents. Everyone is a potential agent. Anyone that's holding a vibrational meat suit, a low vibrational technology, their frequency is low vibration, they're in technology, that's easily infiltrated, aka like the agent. It's perfectly analysis for this. Anyone can be an agent, especially if some of us that are here, confirmation, for big missions and big purposes, specific energies have contracted to chase you down in every lifetime and unalive you in every lifetime. Yeah, that's a thing. Take what resonates, leave what does not. If this doesn't resonate, scroll on. That's perfectly fine. If you don't understand, that's perfectly fine. All right? If you're curious, hang out, receive the frequency, the energy, the codes, the human words, and the words and messages that are beyond the language. Okay? All right, so I'm here to remind you of your power and empowerment. So every psychic needs a psychic. Every healer needs a healer. Every practitioner needs assistance from another practitioner. So if it's something that you're unable to clear yourself through your tools, whether that's saging, whether that's using incense, crystals, bowls, tuning forks, your Reiki energy, call your team in. I just feel like what's coming through right now is if you're struggling to clear something, there's a question if there's something in you that still needs to be addressed. That's coming through right now. Like if these attacks, you feel like you're being attacked, I don't like that, but if you feel like you're being attacked, is there something that's triggering you to address within you that still needs to address a core wound, a program, a conditioning, a belief system in the subconscious that's coming up that feels like you're being energetically attacked from the outside, but it might be something that has been stirred up and ready to be shaken off, ready to be released. That's what's coming through just now as well. So that might be coming up too, because we are receiving massive amounts of like ancient Andromedan codes, these light codes, these packets of light, these frequencies, these energies. All right, these activations, these downloads, these uploads. And these energies will shake loose the sediment in the subconscious. This deep embedded ancestral trauma, DNA at the molecular cellular level, at this morphogenetic level of the cells that are being ready to be shaken up and released. So these energies will do that. That's why you get really uncomfortable. So part of, and I'm not saying that you're not, because I believe I'm seeing that as well. And I'm here to help you empower yourself by calling your power back, standing in your power, call your team in. Use your light language. If you speak light language or tone, you can clear your home just by toning. You can use your light language. And I had that recommendation for a dear acquaintance of mine, healer, again, my healer, one of my healers, healing practitioner, healing artist, basically, practitioner of the healing arts, because it's the frequency and energy, right? And there was a struggle, and I said, and I know she speaks light language. And I'm like, well, just use your light language to clear. If you don't feel like whatever your tools you're using is working, use your light language in a way that your ears can hear it, embody it. So don't just let it just flow. Yes, that's true. But speak it and embody it and authentically own it so you can hear it, because when you hear it, then your cells hear it and you recode and reprogram. And in that recoding and programming, it does something to your morphogenetic field, your energetic field. And that basically is blasting out. I'm getting full body chills as confirmation sources, just confirming what is channeling, what's coming out of my mouth as we're working together, channeling this message, that it's going to blast out those things. Okay, so the visual, so to say, the way I get visuals, it's more of a knowing, okay? But I'm going to give you a visual that might help you, okay? So imagine that you're speaking a light language or you're toning, and now you're hearing your own frequency, your own sound, your own quantum medicine and magic. Now it's going in and your cells are hearing and receiving that. Your field is feeling and hearing you. Now you're embodying the frequency of this tone, this frequency. And now by doing that, you're going into the cell, and that cell is brightening and strengthening and expanding, and that all of those cells turn on and on and on. That divine technology starts activating, and it just literally just grows and just blasts out like a big ball of sunshine in that solar plexus, in that heart space, and you're sending light and love out so brightly out that anything in the field that is trying to penetrate, perpetrate, enter, attack, whatever, can't get near you. It's blinded by it. Or if it gets close, it burns up in the fire, so to say. Or it will just basically, like I said, be paralyzed and die. I don't want to say die off, but basically, yeah, what they're giving me is like being the stunned. Let's say if we have a ball of dark energy that's coming in towards your massive, brilliant field, and it gets close and it gets stunned, and it basically just dissolves into like, it dissolves, it's returned, it's absorbed back into the field. If that makes sense, that's kind of what was coming through just now. So just breathe into that. So standing in your power, taking the power back, strengthening, and again, trying to not necessarily repel, so to say, but you use your vessel, your technology as a tool. Your voice, your sound, your toning, your frequency, your light language, whatever it is, your light, your Reiki energy, and take it in and then blast it out. Instead of just blasting it out, bring it in, strengthen it, fortify it, and amplify it and brighten it, and then send that like Care Bear stare out, but now it's 100 times stronger than it was before. And know that nothing can harm you, right? Nothing can harm you, nothing can hurt you. And if there is that happening, again, what inside of you still is needing to be cleared, healed, addressed, loved, thanked, have gratitude for teaching you, what is still needing to be looked at and addressed that is being missed. Again, this is very subconscious stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's buried that we are still shaking loose. Even a lot of us that have done a lot of work. It's coming up, and it's learning to address that and not feeling like a full victim, right? Because the ego loves the victim mentality. It's awareness. Yes, these things are happening. I am not negating that at all. There's so much in the unseen and the things beyond these human knowing and vision, for sure. You energetically know it, see it, feel it, hear it, whatever it is, the way you receive it. But again, it's calling your power back, claiming your power, standing 10 toes down, knowing how powerful you are, and know that you stand with a stadium full of beings of unconditional love and light that are backing you, that are standing beside you, in front of you, along next to you. Okay? And then you're like, right? But we have gotten so far away from knowing our power, shrinking from our power, shrinking from our abilities, and even using those in embodying those beautiful gifts and abilities. Some people will use their gifts, but they're still using them in a small way. They're still allowing those around them to maybe dictate how they're using them, because their gifts and abilities make other people feel uncomfortable. I'm going to use this just as a quick example. 1, 2, 3, 4 was on the timer. Let's say you have a very powerful life force Reiki energy. I'm just going to keep it with Reiki, just straight up, just Reiki. You're not working with anything else. Mine is beyond Reiki. But you're working with a client who's coming to you. Their soul has guided them to you, and now they're getting uncomfortable during the session because of your energy. And now the next session, you shrink that energy down, or you restrict and you hide that energy a little bit more. I know that's happening. I know that is happening for a fact. I know it is. I know it is, because I've been kind of like feeling this field out because of my energy being so big and working with people. You're meant to be felt at the strength that you are in the now present moment. The team will adjust and attune the dosage for the client. You, the human, do not worry about that. You own and stand your power. I did not know this was coming through, as always, so thank you, team. You do not want to, yep, there's the full body chills. You, as the human who's probably spent your whole life like, I'm too big, I'm too small, or I'm too big, I'm too much, I'm too much, I'm too much. Even with working clientele, in these healing arts, in these healing practices, these modalities, you're shrinking yourself, you're shrinking your energy. Instead of fully operating, just going into the session, fully embodying and operating at full strength, instead of trying to adjust, allow the teams to adjust it. Allow your team to adjust the volume for the medicine and the magic to be received. And then what will happen is that will be bridged through their team, because that's how that works. And then their team will come in, because it's a co-creative effort, will come in 1444, and then adjust again. If whoever's receiving you, your gifts, your ability, is not able to receive you at full strength, the teams will adjust accordingly across the field. for the person. But here's the thing. If that person's human and ego is irritated or triggered, that's those things that are ready to be released. Those are the fleas, those are the parasites, those are the entities, energies, thought forms, and belief systems. So that's like those creepy crawlies. Those are getting irritated. But here's the thing. The teams will not give the other person anything that they cannot handle. The human just doesn't understand that, and it's an ego. It's the ego human part, but bigger than the ego and human, it's those parasites and those fleas that are getting triggered, those thought forms, those belief systems, those conditionings, those patterns that are getting triggered. So the volumes in frequency will be attuned accordingly. You, the practitioner, you don't worry about that. The teams will take care of that bridging, that giving, receiving. You just go in your full power, stand in your full power, know your full power, and allow the attunement across from one soul to another to be received accordingly. The key thing is not dropping in your frequency and not dropping your authenticity and not hiding the voltage that you stand at. And this has been a big lesson for me. Okay? So it's like allowing for the attunement to take you don't do that. You don't shrink yourself. All right? So it's not like, I know how powerful I am. Straight up. I trigger and activate the fleas and the parasites and the entities like fucking cray-cray. I am not going to dim, I am not going to shrink, and I'm not going to make myself less authentic in those cases. Okay? I might have a conversation with the team to ask how we can attune this. Okay? But again, they're not going to get anything, or they're not going to give anything that is beyond. But here's the thing. Your soul called this in. It was time for your soul to say, I'm ready to shake these fleas off. I'm ready for these parasites, these entities, these thought forms, these conditionings, and belief systems to be gone, so I can create, so there's space that I can have now to do the healing, to do the work, to receive the light, to do the thing. Does that make sense? I really hope that visualization made some sense. I really had no idea, as I never do when I fully get in channel mode, when I'm like, all right, we need to talk about this. Because this is coming up for me, all right? In working with more clientele or working around other people who are getting irritated, who are uncomfortable. So we're going to finish this message that when you get uncomfortable in someone's field, let's say a high vibrational person, you're getting uncomfortable, or someone's getting uncomfortable with you, because this is more likely they're uncomfortable with you, versus vice versa, but I'm not going to nullify anyone, so you could be either person. It's an opportunity, it's a trigger, it's an uncomfortableness that your soul is asking you to address. It's a core wound, it's a core belief system, trauma, conditioning, programming that you're being asked to sit with and to look at, to love, to thank, to have gratitude and say, I love you, thank you, I release you. I'm all done with this. So I let this go. And you say this from a subconscious level and across all timelines, dimensions, spaces, places, portals, and realms, where all aspects of myself are currently known and unknown, and seen and unseen, conscious and unconscious. I release all these unconscious programmings and conditionings and belief systems that are making me feel uncomfortable around light language, or receiving very powerful Reiki energy, or around a sound bath. Because this happened with language beyond words, can be received through sound, through frequencies, through words, through mudras, through tuning, toning, om. These are all forms of language beyond words. Reiki's energy, a form of silent energy beyond words. And I really feel like, holy crap, that I'm like, am I the forefront person in this community? Am I? Oh crap, I gotta sit with that one. Didn't see that coming. 1944. Fuck me. All right, so I'm here. I'm here to help in any way I can, just for you to be able to stand and walk in your power and fully empower yourself embody the fullness of your energy, your gifts, your abilities, your frequency, your medicine, your magic. And yes, feel safe. Know that you are safe to work at full capacity, and know that your team will attune and adjust where it is necessary. Okay. 2020, I love you. I'll see you soon. Bye.